1018 Royal Street. 1018 Royal Street. This was my first apartment in New Orleans, back even before I had the landscape and gardening company. And not a lot of people know the story or the history of this building. It's a beautiful building with the cast iron railings. You can look in here and get a little peek into the courtyard. But what most people don't know, unless you're a real fan of New Orleans, is that in the movie King Creole with Elvis Presley, this was the house that Elvis stayed in. This was the main house of the scenes of King Creole. This is Elvis's house. Now, a little tidbit about myself that not a lot of people know, unless you know me really well, is that when I was a kid, before I was saved, before I was born again, my dad raised me to be one of the world's biggest Elvis fans. I was like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. I was 10 when Elvis died. And I knew just about every Elvis song by heart. Isn't that crazy? Because my dad, he loved Tom Jones, the Righteous Brothers, Elvis. My dad has dementia right now. I'm asking everybody to pray that he'll be healed of Alzheimer's dementia. We serve a big God. My grandma taught me, she said, Mikey, God is a big God. So that's big. And I'm asking everybody today to pray for my dad's healing, my dad's health. But he raised me to be a big Elvis fan. So when I found out, and I didn't know before I got it, when I found out that my apartment was in the building that was Elvis's house in King Creole, I nearly freaked out. Now, some of y'all never been down south too much, as Elvis would say, but some of y'all don't really know also the history of the guy who lived in this house in the movie. You don't know the history of Elvis. As a matter of fact, very few people know that Elvis was a tongue-talking Christian. Elvis was a Pentecostal. Elvis was a holy roller. He swung from the chandeliers. He was old school, dyed-in-the-wool Pentecostal. And they didn't go to movies. They didn't listen to secular music. They didn't dance. They didn't chew. They didn't drink. They didn't smoke. They were holiness to the core. And so Elvis made the decision that he was going to backslide, that he was going to walk away from everything that he was taught, everything he was raised in, and be a rebel and become a movie star, become a sex symbol, become a celebrity, and yes, become an idol, not to millions, but to billions of people. And look how it ended at 42. Bloated. Didn't even hardly look like himself. It's been proven he was a drug addict, living in fornication with a woman that was not his first wife. Look, the wages of sin is death. How many great celebrities have died in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s? The wages of sin is death. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. So let this just be a cautionary tale today. Don't try to be a star. Don't try to be a celebrity. Don't try to have the whole world worship you. Don't try to be Justin Bieber or Timberlake or any of those people. You know why? Because ultimately, it's empty. Money, fame, wealth, privilege, celebrity, none of that satisfies the soul, the God-shaped void in the heart of man. Only Jesus can do it. Not drugs, not drinking, not sex, not rock and roll. Elvis was not the king. Elvis was a mere man and a mere mortal sinner, just like you and just like me. There's only one king. His name is Jesus Christ. So from the house of King Creole, I'm talking about the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ. Remember, Jesus is still your answer. He's King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Amen. This is Royal Street in the French Quarter. Royal Street.